gentlemen, Alan Tichmarsh. Hello, welcome to Tuesday's show. I've zimmered on as a tribute to tonight's big guest. He's just turned 70, and to some of his fans, he's the most eligible bachelor, and he's been in showbiz for more than 50 years. He's our very own music icon, the one and only Sir Cliff Richard. Chats and performs exclusively a little later. Please welcome Sir Cliff Richard.
Oh, thank you very much. No, we've done the birthday. But thank you very... You just sang happy birthday to me. It was rubbish.
The audition for the backing group, I think, for the next one, for the 80th. You don't look like a man who's just done 6 nights at the Albert Hall. That was astonishing.
Oh, well, I feel like a guy that's just done 6 nights. In fact, funnily enough, today I've felt much, much better. Yesterday there was a kind of an emotional... Sometimes when you do something like that, remember, it wasn't just different for the audience, it was really different for me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable the first couple of nights. It's just... alien music, but so nice, I stuck with it. And so when it was all over, I felt yesterday I'd had a kind of emotional drop.
Yeah.
And I'm much better
so
today.
So did they, actually.
Oh, did you as well? Yeah, well...
It's been interesting, I've not brought you on to compare you with Rod Stewart, but it's very interesting that Rod Stewart did these American songbooks,
oh, yeah.
and that you've found this similar kind of music, a sort of change of gear, which seems to have refreshed Rod's career no end. I mean, do you see it now as a kind of, hey, this is a whole new world I can explore?
Yeah, it is, and for all of us, you know, and I loved Rod's records. I mean, I heard his... You see, the thing is, though, I did record songs like this in 1962, Rod.
Seniority.
With Norrie Paramore's orchestra, of course. But, I mean, when I heard his records, I'd already started planning to... I'd got 9 songs together. In fact, years ago, at the Albert Hall, I sang Every Time We Say Goodbye just to test the audience. And they seemed to like it. So I thought I'll do an album. But then Robbie Williams came out with his, and then Rod brought his out, and I thought, oh, no, they're all going to think I followed them.
But isn't it good, really... So even at your age, it sounds job, but isn't it good just to push yourself outside your comfort zone? Because it must refresh you.
It does, actually. And the thing is, though, and again, I've shared a lot with my fans on stage. I tried a couple of years back to explain that there was a period when we were starting, we didn't listen to anything but rock and roll. I just wanted to wake up and be Elvis or any of them. And you tended to ignore all those people that were before you. But when your career gets started and you have the success... confidence allows you to go, oh, well, I'll listen to them. And I found they were very good. You know, the more I heard when Radio 2 would do shows like Matt Monro, a whole hour about Matt Monro or Dickie Valentine, and I used to listen to it coming back from one of my concerts from Birmingham, and blow me down. Are you from Birmingham?
Yes. The entire population's in.
I know. Well, they let anybody into the studios. But, you know, I'd listen to the show, and I think, these folks, they really knew what they were doing, whereas when the Shadows and I got started, we were still really trying to find our way, heavily influenced by America, but desperate to find something of our own. We were lucky. We found ourselves, and I stopped being a mini Elvis.
Yeah, well, you were our Elvis. But let's move on from the past and talk very much now about the future and about, you know, how... I'd say, because everybody's going to talk about your age now forever, I suppose, when you reach 70. It's 71 next year, all this and the other. I mean, do you have a career plan, Cliff, at this stage? Do you say, when I get to 80, I will stop, or when I get to 75, I'll stop? Do you plan to stop?
No, I don't.
Hey, now let him have a choice as well.
Well, I've said often that retirement's not in my vocabulary, because retirement sounds as though you... Well, retirement is where you stop what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you stop doing anything. Some people often go and try some other things, do some things they've always wished they had done, and that's always open to me. But I can't see any point of absolutely just stopping, when in point of fact, what I could do is what I'm practically doing now. I'm kind of finding things I want to do, and I do it. When the chance came to do Boulder's Brass, the album, and they said, the Albert Hall's free, I said, well, what about It's such a prestigious place. For me to get the opportunity at this age and at this stage of my career to be able to present a whole album at that wonderful hall was terrific. And I've got, you know, and at the end of the year there'll be a DVD. You know, I don't know where you get these clips from. The TV people, that clip you just showed, I've not even seen the show. It's not out till November the something.
Oh, well, we're very glad. I've been looking at the calendar as well, just to make them scream even more. I mean, look at shame on you. You make those of us who are younger feel very embarrassed.
Why'd you turn it over?
Oh, no, you can I should wear it on my front while I do the questions. What I do want to ask is, because Elton's been very vocal in the papers today, saying that X Factor, he doesn't like it, it's boring. I mean, how do you look upon X Factor? Is it something you watch or something you rate?
I haven't watched a lot of it. I've never seen a whole series of them, but I've seen many episodes. And I always get it wrong. I'm not quite sure I agree entirely with him, but, you know...
I mean, when you hear modern music from new bands, you know, Florence and the Machine or, you know, Pixie Lott or whatever, do you like modern music in general, or do you think, as Elton appears to do, they sound the same?
I don't think they sound the same, but I do feel that there's a dearth of... They find someone who can sing. That's one thing I think these shows have shown. There are people walking our streets who can sing. They have to be given the time, though. They have to be discovered. Let's face it, I try to be Elvis. Now, if somebody's trying to be Mariah Carey or whatever, that's not bad. I think what Elton was getting
you've got to go on and find yourself.
I think what Elton, reading that headline, which you can't trust anymore, the headlines are not written by the writers, they're written by sub-editors. But reading that headline, if that's what he said, he probably means that once you've watched one show, there's not enough of a change in the next. The same type of interviews, the same kind of people that make fools of themselves, the same kind of people that go, ooh, they're pretty good. And in that respect, it could be probably boring if you're watching every series.
Time will tell, though, of course, just to see if they last to their 70th.
Well, in the end, you know, Leona Lewis has proved that she's got the power to be a really good singer, and she's had hits. But only in 5 or 10 years' time will we discover whether she has got the desire to stay.
And the durability.
Because these singers are good. I mean, look at Will Young. He's still around.
Yeah.
So he's proven that you can come from a show like that and make it and stay.
Well, if you'll stick around and stay, we'll be glad to have you a little bit. Because Cliff will be back a little bit later to perform the classic from his youth. I've got you under my skin, but for now, my thanks as ever to Sir Cliff Richard.
Thank you. Thank you. I got you under my skin. I got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. Well, I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. Well, I said to myself, this affair never can go so well. But why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near. In spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you're never gonna win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. I've got you, baby, under my skin. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na. Sha-na-na-na-na, shoo-be. Shoo-be-de-doo, shoo-be-de-doo-be. I got you under my skin. I would sacrifice anything, come what might, for
the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and keeps on repeating in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you're never gonna win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. I've got you under my skin. 'Cause I've got you, baby, under my skin.
Wonderful stuff. And Sir Cliff's album, Boulder's Brass, is out now and currently at number 3 in the album chart. Or as Cliff would call it, Boulder's Brass.